What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, in the fallout from the report that indeed Jamie Foxx would be reprising his role and returning as Electro in the MCU, returning the interesting word considering he had never been in the MCU in the first place, and upon his own confirmation via social media, making sure that we all knew he wasn't playing the blue iteration, only adding further speculation to what exactly is going on in this multiverse, which versions of the characters are we planning on seeing, and, of course, will Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield actually indeed be returning for a live-action Into the Spider-Verse film? Well, this past weekend, another industry insider weighed in with a possible clue indicating what Marvel and Sony intend on doing, returning an original character from the very first Spider-Man trilogy and a different character from the second of two Amazing Spider-Man films. We're going to break down where this report's coming from, what it said about Kirsten Dunst and Dane Dehaan coming back to reprise their roles in a future MCU film, and what this, of course, would mean for the Sony-Marvel agreement and what's going on with this MCU Spider-Verse. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel-related stuff, including this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray build and our third and final Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So I know these past couple of days things may have been confusing considering how many reports there were, some total speculation and or candor, others coming from industry insiders. They get conflated into one report. But as someone who's been reporting on all of these breaking headlines and rumors for the better part of 3 years now every single day, what happened with an original plot leak and speculation that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire could team up alongside Tom Holland in Spider-Man 3 for a multiverse adventure? Now, this used to be just speculation, but then of course with the announcement that Electro would be returning, that seemed to add fuel to that fire, and those speculations and rumors showed back up now being confirmed by Electro's involvement, a character we had already seen, obviously, in a previous cinematic universe. Now, the story got even more interesting when industry insider Daniel RPK, via his Patreon just days ago, indicated that he's hearing Kirsten Dunst and Dane Dehaan could be returning, implying for their roles of Mary Jane Watson and of course Norman Osborn Green Goblin. And even more interesting than them returning is the fact that they would be returning from 2 entirely different universes. Mary Jane Watson from the original trilogy, and Dane Dehaan played the Green Goblin Norman Osborn in the very fastly defunct 2-piece that was supposed to lead in to a 3rd trilogy with the Sinister Six and Andrew Garfield that never happened. Now, this report in and of itself made headlines, and you can search it now on Google. There are a ton of publications that re-reported it, but later on his Twitter, he went on to clarify that he never specified this was for Spider-Man 3, where all of those people who pointed to that first plot leak and said, look, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for sure coming back. Spider-Man 3 is the multiverse movie. Look, Electro is going to be there. There is plenty of time for them to reprise their role, especially if Sony looks forward thinking into what they want to do with the Spider-Verse. And look, we've talked a lot about how the Sinister Six looks like it is a definite lock now with the return of Electro. We have so many members already, and remember, Scorpion already teased his return as well for this film. It would be an awful shame for them to be introducing a Norman Osborn Green Goblin version that they wouldn't intend on being used in the MCU. If they eventually are going to introduce that Norman Osborn, there's been a lot of leaks that have pointed to that, and of course, instead, Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius, could be the one to start the Sinister Six. They have both founded versions of the team. But again, I don't think you'd want to go ahead and introduce a character like that in the multiverse, an alternate version in the Marvel Cinematic Universe continuity before we met the actual Norman Osborn himself, which makes me think if Daniel RPK is hearing this and there's some truth to it, this is something that Sony is looking to do down the road in their own version of Into the Spider-Verse, if that's a film they want to have on their side. And taking a big step back, there are obvious advantages to bringing back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and eventually, as according to other industry insider, of course friend of the channel Mikey Sutton, a Miles Morales. Then you have your own Spider-Men to do whatever you like and whatever you need to cross over against Venom or whatever franchises you have. And considering how many movies they have right now that need Spider-Man and don't have one, they are in dire need. Now, the big takeaway from all of this is that even though Spider-Man 3 may end up becoming a multiverse film fitting nicely between WandaVision, Loki, and the wrap-up and multiverse of madness, it's definitely not going to introduce Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. And I think that if that is ever going to happen, it's big picture and way down the road. There is still a lot of narrative with Tom Holland's Peter Parker at the central part of this story. And even though Electro may be entering, you have to think about this as sort of how it works. Remember, the multiverse in the MCU plans on showing alternate versions. John Krasinski's Captain America, perhaps again they wanted Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. If that's true, that means there's versions of Electro across the multiverse. It could be that Jamie Foxx is coming back to play this version of Electro. It doesn't need to open up the multiverse in any specific way, and it's definitely not going to lead to the introduction of Andrew Garfield's or Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man back right on the spot all of a sudden in Spider-Man 3. This is going to be a very, very long play, and the MCU right off the bat definitely doesn't have enough narrative to afford if they're going to set up the Sinister Six to also be introducing the multiverse and alternate versions of Peter Parker all in one film. That is absolutely not Marvel's style. That sounds like something that they would have done over at DC years ago, and hopefully even then DC has learned from that. Either way, guys, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments about all of this. A, if they are all going to team up, would you be happy to see that, and how far down the road? Hopefully that'll be its own thing over at Sony. And B, what are your expectations from Spider-Man 3? Let me know all your thoughts. It's pretty clear it's a Sinister Six lead-in. We just don't know how. And of course, that answer will be tied to whatever they're doing with Electro and how Marvel and Sony intend on explaining this all. Guys, let me know your thoughts about the Spider-Verse down below. And quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff. Before I let you go, we're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros just in time for the PlayStation 5 to come out. Of course, we will switch to giving away PlayStation 5s. We just got to get them in hand, and with the delays to pre-orders and limits, we're not going to do that till we actually have them. In the meantime, the next of which is at the 700,000 subscriber mark, which we will easily hit by month's end. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill and our third and final Infinity Saga box set. We gave away 2 at the channel this year already. We're going to give this third and final one away in just a couple of months during the holiday season in December. If you want to be entered to win either of the PlayStations or any of the other future prizes up ahead, including this limited edition Infinity Saga box set, all the same rules will always apply at the channel. Hit the subscribe button because you have to be a subscriber. Then make sure to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the videos. Leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here. And if you've missed any of the previous winner announcements, no worries. All you have to do is scroll back to the channel, look for the winner announcement and the sub count in the title, click on that video, scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We will be posting again real soon.